Alright, I think we got this going again. Alright, so Tysabri, when I found out about this amazingly complicated illness that is MS, I sat there for about 3 to 5 minutes absorbing the terrible news. I was in a daze, thought was in a daze. The doctors and nurses just kept talking. After a few minutes, they pulled out a nice long list of amazing medicines, most of which I'm just going to skip because my mild to moderate MS was mild to moderate, and I got to skip all of the low-level stuff. So they went down one by one, talking about each individual drug, and they got to Ocrevus, which I don't have access to just yet, and Tysabri. I was hoping for Ocrevus. It's a once-a-year injection, or once every 6 months, and that would be it. Instead, I got Tysabri. Tysabri isn't our entry-level drug. Normally you take some pills and jam some injectables, but it was a mild to moderate. As the doctor said, I considered it bad because any brain damage is too much brain damage. I feel I tricked even a few of the tests, to be honest. I have this way of touching my nose with my eyes closed because I had to pass concussion tests when I was a professional wrestler, and tricking tests was the only way to get to be passed to be allowed to go back in the ring. So, in the things that I've done to actually trick tests over the years is I've blown up my knee, and I learned to essentially hop on one leg and move the other leg so that they would let me back in the ring. My eyes have given me trouble over the years, probably because of the MS, so I've learned to judge a distance on steps, close my eyes, and just walk the distances. Sometimes when I'm driving, I would just close my eyes, and if I felt the car hit one of the rumble strips on the sides, I opened them up. Not safe by any means, but I'm adaptable. What can I say? I once had Bell's palsy, which was probably MS, and I didn't take any time off. I just went with resting neutral face, and all of a sudden I was back at work the next day while other people took days off in panic. So Tysabri. I've read a ton about this amazing drug, and it's not really our first line. This is what you take when you've really been damaged badly by MS and you are failing on other disease-modifying therapies. Which is, again, really cool. It's not first line, so I don't have to take the injectables in the stomach. I've done blood thinners. That sucked. Don't have to do pills. I take enough of those every day. I think I'm rocking 40 or more now. From January 7th to February 20th-ish, there was a rush to get compassionate care approved for me for my Tysabri treatments. You do this when it's a rush. We don't have time to do the paperwork, but there was more paperwork to get me there. This is cool because tons of phone calls, tons of paperwork. Now I'm going to get an infusion just over a month after I get a diagnosis. Most people don't get that. Most people have to fight for 2 years. Oh, wait. Well, I fought for 2 years not to get on Tysabri, just to get my health back. So, as I left there in a self-pitying mess, I went home and I read and watched tons of videos on Tysabri. I've learned a fair amount about it. It is a Crohn's medicine, which is cool, because it does a bunch of science to the immune system. And because it does a bunch of science to the immune system, it got approved for MS treatment. Unfortunately, the Tysabri then promptly killed a bunch of people. Like, a bunch. It's pretty much the only thing you'll find in articles when you first search Tysabri. So, they took it off the market. Did some more science, figured out why it was killing a bunch of people, put it back on the market with a warning, this drug may kill you. The people dying was a huge alarm for me, but on the same side, I trust my doctors. I'm not a neurologist, I am a Facebook WebMD master. Oh, the death. People were dying because the Tysabri lowers your immune system in your central nervous system. Or removes it, not entirely sure. And this super cute virus called the JC virus, which are my initials of course, was killing people. A lot of people. It's mild, most people have it. I just have to do a blood test every few months. I think it's 3 months, but they do that during the intravenous. I get other blood tests on top of that. Also sucks. The Tysabri works by binding to something on the something, and because of science, it prevents it from going into my central nervous system, which is cool and terrifying. I don't understand if I get a mild infection in my brain, will it kill me, which is interesting, or if I have any immune system in there. Because of all the deaths, we'll never know. So we've been rocking Tysabri for several months. I think we're on 8 or 9 at this point in time. I've gone a little too long once, and it was difficult, but on the same note, I don't really have it easy anyways. So the Tysabri does make me feel better, more energized, more movable, but I still suffer from extreme fatigue, and we have what's called slump week. 1 week before infusion, 3 weeks after infusion, that I crash. Hard, like meth crash. Not that I know what that would feel like, I don't think. Oh, right, now see, because I get to have this cool intravenous infusion on a chemical that the nurses are afraid to touch, that's going to be pumped into my veins, I spend every night beforehand freaking right out. Thankfully, I've got severe anxiety and severe depression to help me with all of it. So that's really cool, right? See what we got. Now we're on to infusions suck, and they do suck bad. I feel this like cold fluid when they first flush my vein. They jam it in this hand. I'm getting track marks like an actual heroin user, which is cool. But you can feel the cold run in the hand and just up the veins. It's weird from the saline. And then they take the Tysabri out of a refrigerated area, and they do it again. You can feel it go right up into your arm, freezing me to the bone. Kind of feels like being in a really deep, icy water, if that makes any sense to you. But I do feel better afterwards. First time I was on a huge high because we were getting some fixtures going. By this point in time, I just want to go lay down. It takes my body a day or so to get used to the infusion of the extra chemicals. Now, as I have this terrible illness and I'm on this crazy cool treatment, I really feel like I'm sick on days of treatment. Most days, if I chill on the couch and don't do anything, I don't feel sick, but if I stand up, I am well aware of it. Now, treatment days are supposed to be a me day. These don't always turn out because there's no such thing as a me day when you have a family. Family comes first, unfortunately, and I'm well aware of this. So instead of going and just chilling, eating a burger, maybe getting some ice cream, getting pumped full of a horribly toxic chemical, usually we go grocery shopping and get stuff for the family. Because that's how life goes.